New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Good evening, and welcome to the Miracle of Prosperity here on the New Thought Media Network. I'm your host, the Reverend Dr. Jim Webb. I'm the author of the book, The Soul of Prosperity, as well as a number of other books, including Prosperity from A to Z, 30 P's for Prosperity, Forgive Your Way to Prosperity, and create your self-manifesting vision board. And I've got a piece of news for you tonight, but it'll wait till later. So every Sunday night, we get together and we talk about an aspect of prosperity. And we know that prosperity is a multifaceted concept. It is more than just money and stuff. And it has many dimensions, such as professional prosperity, where we may have the perfect job with perfect pay, where we offer a wonderful service in a wonderful way, a la Florence Scovel Shinn. Or it may be relationship prosperity, where we have done the inner work to cultivate a loving and self-accepting energy within us, so that our relationships reflect that in our outer world, and they are loving and supportive because we've learned to love and support ourselves. It could be logistical prosperity, where our lives simply work with minimal struggle or stress, or no struggle or stress. And of course, it could be prosperity of finances, prosperity of other types of support that just bring joy to our lives. In essence, prosperity is simply love in action. It is all the ways that the divine love can be cultivated within us so that it shows up as a reflection of our inner consciousness. So as we love ourselves, and I mean love in the form of being in alignment with the energy of love, that loving energy that we emit goes out and it finds its reflection, and it draws its reflection to us, and it draws us to its reflection. So prosperity is simply all the forms divine love can take when it is outpictured in our world as a result of our cultivating that inner energy of love and becoming a channel for it as it flows to us and through us. So each week, we work with an aspect of prosperity. We either work with techniques that we can use to enhance our existing prosperity, Or we work with techniques that we can use to release the barriers to prosperity. For as Rumi, the Sufi poet, said of love, love is all around us, for love is all there is. Our task is to remove the barriers to feeling love's presence. Well, if prosperity is simply all the forms that love can take, as we remove the barriers to love, we remove the barriers to all the forms prosperity can take in our outer worlds. But tonight we've got an extra special program for you. What some of you know, but many of you don't, is that we all are tapped into a divine energy, a divine consciousness, the infinite intelligence. Some of you know this because many times when you sit in meditation, many times when you sit in prayer, many times when you sit in communion with the divine, you sense not only love or embrace, but you sense that you are open to new perspectives and new information. Some call that channeling. Well, I work with energy, and let's say I channel this energy, and they have been downloading to me and through me a number of different new manifestation techniques. They'll all appear in my upcoming book, Multiple Manifestation Methods, but you're going to get a sneak preview because we're going to look at some new ways to manifest and new manifestation techniques tonight. So we're going to have some fun with this, and you will get a sneak preview of my upcoming book, Multiple Manifestation Methods. So, without any more ado, we have a number of different questions already, and you might have some questions as well. So we're going to start working with the questions. The questions are our guest this evening, as opposed to what we usually do, which is have a regular guest. So the first question is, what is this new energy on Earth? So let me give you some background from all the information I've been receiving. Even though the Earth may seem to be in turmoil, the Earth is simply exposing itself to its energetic underbelly for healing and transformation. For as A Course in Miracles says, everyone is entitled to miracles. Everyone is entitled to miracles, but purification is necessary first. So the earth is preparing for its miracle. The earth is preparing for its elevation to a new level of vibration. And in preparation, anything unlike love is showing up in our lives and in our world, where we have been in denial of it, when we have been trying to push it aside or diminish its importance, yet it has been there operating and miscreating pain and suffering. It's all coming up for healing now. So what does this have to do with new manifestation methods? Well, when all of this comes up for healing, what have we done? We've cried out for new energy. We've cried out for a deeper, more visceral, more tangible experience of the presence of love. And when we pray, the universe answers. So the universe answers in the form of new energy that is sharper, finer, yet more effective than ever before, because our collective vibration has raised Earth's receptivity to this new energy. So it's a stronger, sharper, finer, more penetrating energy that carries with it more power to manifest. So the Cliff Notes version of the answer to the question, what is this new energy on Earth? This new energy on earth is the power to manifest immediately, more effectively, more efficiently, and more quickly than ever before, because it is an aspect of the new powerful energy of miracles on earth. For we are in the age of miracles. So that's the first question. What is this new energy? And then once we understand this new energy, we can ask, why is it evident on the earth right now? Because we asked for it. This new energy comes because we have opened collectively to it. We have, in all our prayers, in all our release work, in all our healing, and in all of our evolution individually. Because remember, A Course in Miracles says, I am not alone in the effects of my healing. When I am healed, I am not healed alone. And you may at times have underestimated the power of your healing to change the world. But A Course in Miracles tells us in Lesson 154, we are all among the ministers of God. And when we heal and bring more light to the planet, that light is magnified 1,000-fold with a butterfly effect. So this new energy comes because we asked for it. And it's resident on the earth right now in order that we may support the earth, for we are all light workers or ministers of God, that we may support the earth in evolving to its newest level of vibration. So those are a couple of the questions about this new energy. There are other questions as well. For example, how can this new energy affect the manifestation process? This new energy can accelerate the manifestation process. Energy can make the manifestation process effortless. And let me put it another way. This new energy manifestation is simply a byproduct of this new energy. The essence of this energy is a new level of love, a new level of peace, a new level of joy, a new level of grace. So the byproduct of that energy is that which would bring us more love, more peace, cause us to feel more grace. So we manifest that. Manifestation is just a byproduct of this new energy. So that's how it can affect the manifestation process. We have a lot of questions on this. What is the key component of this new energy that helps us to manifest more easily and effortlessly? The key component of this new energy is an energy of forgiveness. Now, this is not forgiveness in the classical sense of the word. You did something to me and I'm mad, but I forgive you. But I really don't, because once I go into the story, I am repeating, reverberating, and amplifying the story of my victimhood and you're hurting me, and I'm magnifying the hurt. No, it's not that type of forgiveness. It's not that kind of forgiveness party. It's a different type of forgiveness where forgiveness is simply being in alignment with love to such a degree that that love permeates the levels of our energy and the levels of our consciousness, and that love heals the wounds that we've been carrying. And so we move into an inner state of peace and an inner state of grace, regardless of what has happened to us in our outer world. And that healing is a state of forgiveness. And that's a key component of it. For in this consciousness, where we know of our oneness with God, this consciousness of forgiveness, when we are in this consciousness And we feel God's love, and we feel God's presence, and we feel God's light, and we feel God's grace, and we feel God's embrace, and we feel God's acceptance. What has happened in the past simply disappears. Its impact disappears. Its pain disappears. Gary Renard, in his book, The Disappearance of the Universe, you quoted a lesson in A Course in Miracles: I will forgive, and this will go away. Well, when we go into that state of forgiveness, which is synonymous with a state of grace, the pain goes away, the resentments go away. The person we thought we were as poor me, the victim, that person goes away because we see ourselves simply as the holy beloved of God. And we don't see ourselves as the body, the ego, the victim anymore. We see ourselves as the light of God, the light of the world, as we were created. There's a lesson in A Course in Miracles: love created me like itself. And we see ourselves as loving, loved, and lovable. And this is the new energy with which we use to create. So in addition to these questions, Spirit has downloaded to me so many new manifestation methods. And we're going to go to break in a moment. And when we come back, we're going to discuss many of the new manifestation methods that Spirit has downloaded so that you can use them even before my new book comes out. So we're going to go to break now here on the New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Home Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, come be you. Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Unity of Garden Park, New Thought Philadelphia, the Sunshine Cathedral, Unity of Savannah, and the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network is excited to present Divine Science Everywhere, Fridays at 2 p.m. Mountain Time and 4 p.m. Eastern. Come explore a modern experience of divine science. With Reverend Joy Fletcher, Reverend Jeff Radcliffe, and Bishop Durrell Watkins. Join us as we open our eyes to divine science everywhere we look. Fridays on New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Science of Mind Saturday Conversations. Learn more about the Science of Mind philosophy, faith, and way of life. Join our team of experts for a weekly deep dive discussion. Come study the science of mind, chapter by chapter, and resources from the Science of Mind archives. Plan to join us every Saturday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, only on the New Thought Media Network.
And we're back here on the New Thought Media Network. And we're discussing tonight new manifestation methods. And so we've given some background on the new energy and how that new energy enables us to manifest more easily, more effortlessly, and more immediately than ever before. And there are some new techniques that have been downloaded. But before we go into the new techniques that we can use, the first thing I want to share is the new perspective of these new techniques. You see, so much of manifestation has been from the ego mind, the part of us that believes that we are not enough. And if we were to manifest this, then we were going to be okay. If we manifest that, then we would be safe. If we manifest this, then we would be lovable. If we manifest this, then everything would be fine in our lives. And what that was manifesting from the ego. But these new manifestation methods take us higher. They all involve manifestation from the highest self, from the God self, from the love self, from the part of us that is God and the part of us that we are and that we connect with when we go into meditation and we feel our vibration raising and we are in our highest self consciousness, where we know ourselves to be at one with God and when we know ourselves to be at one with love. So from that perspective, it is not manifesting in the form of gimme, 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 I want, I need. It is manifesting from the perspective of the light of God I am now invites and allows. And then we state what we invite and allow. There's no anxiety. There's no lack. There's no not enoughness involved. For when we are in anxiety, lack, and not enoughness, what do you think we're going to manifest? But when we are in our allness, our fullness, and our lightness, we will manifest fully all that we desire. So the simplest technique is just that. And we've been doing a lot of work with this in my classes, and people have had shocking results. But one of the simplest ways is not just to say it, but to get into that state. Go deeply into meditation till you feel within you the peace that passes all understanding. Go deeply into meditation where you feel your oneness with light and love. Go deeply into meditation where you feel a sense of grace all around you and when you feel a sense of grace within you. Go deeply into meditation where you lose yourself into the energy of light and love. And from that perspective, the light of God, I am the light of God. The light of God I am allows, desires, and manifests. Blank. And fill in the blank with your heart's desires. So that's one of the simplest ways. Just change the perspective from which we manifest. Now, one of the things that you might find interesting is that when you go to that highest place, what you thought you wanted to manifest before may have changed a little too, for you have changed. You were manifesting from that highest self, and the essence of what you desire may be what you want to manifest, not the thing. So you may want to manifest the end state of peace, the end state of joy, the end state of security, not the thing that you thought would bring you peace, joy, or security, but the end state itself. And that's the second aspect of these new manifestation methods. It's not about the things. It's about the desire of your heart to reach the state that you thought these things would symbolize. You think it's a new car. Maybe it's the ease and security of knowing that you have support in the form of a car that gets you where you need to go, to do the work you need to do, to make the money you need to live. So it may be, I deserve the light of God I am, desires, deserves, and allows easy, effortless, joyful transportation that makes my life easy as I am deserving of ease, grace, and joy. So that's one overarching perspective from which to manifest. Now, within that, there are a number of other techniques that we can use. One recently in one of my classes, we do work a lot with vision boards, and I'm not going to say much about that. Anything I wanted to say about vision boards, I said in my book, Create Your Self-Manifesting Vision Board. So we work a lot with vision boards. But one of the things Spirit basically suggested that we do recently is take your vision board to a dance. And what that is it's similar to the idea of dancing in advance. Dancing is an expression of joy. Dancing moves us into a state of ecstasy. Dancing raises our vibration. So one of the ways that we can raise the vibration of that which we vision, for the higher the vibration, the more likely its manifestation. So we can raise the vibration by dancing around our vision board, by going into the space where we meditate with our vision board, turning on music that makes us happy, turning on music that moves us to a higher state, turning on music that moves us to a state of ecstasy, and sing and dance around your vision board. It may seem strange, but it's a lot of fun. And it also enhances the power of that vision to be made manifest. For you see, joy and ecstasy are important aspects of the creative process. Joy, ecstasy, these are high vibratory rates. And once again, the higher the vibratory rate, the more likely, more possible, and more immediate the manifestation. So dancing vision boards. Now, you know that there is an ancient analog to this, for you know that many ancient indigenous peoples used sound, used repetition, used movement, used circular movement, and specifically circular movement, moving in a circle. And they used it to disorient themselves from the earth life and its vibration, and to chant and dance and raise themselves to a higher vibration. So you know this works. We just put a modern twist on it with the modern music of your liking. So create your Saturday Night Fever soundtrack for manifestation and dance your vision board. This is one of many examples. Now, another one has to do with the energy of manifestation. Does anybody know what a snow globe is? A snow globe, if you recall, is that plastic or glass, like a globe, like a crystal ball in it, actually, but in it, it contains a scene or a vision. Well, you have a desired scene or vision for your life, or for an aspect of your life, or for a desire of your heart. What if you were to put that into a snow globe? But what if your snow globe was a snow globe of energy? What if you moved into meditation? What if you moved into prayer? What if you moved into divine sacred union? And what if you held your hands up, as we often do in prayer and in meditation? And what if you felt spiritual energy vibrating in your hands? Many of you who are Reiki practitioners know what this feels like. Now, what if you were to do this? What if with each breath you were to breathe in deeply and imagine all of your energy centers opening? And what if you were to then imagine that each time you breathed in a golden pink light of creation from Source, the infinite love, the infinite power. And what if each time you breathed in this energy to the degree that you could feel it flowing through your Shakti, through your energy centers? And what if each time you breathed it in, you could feel it collecting in your hands to the degree that you could feel energy moving out of your hands, and it felt ticklish, like electrical energy? I'm feeling it right now. And what if this energy formed a ball, like a crystal ball or like a snow globe? And what if you could then imagine that your vision flows into that snow globe with this energy to animate it? And what if you were to allow the energy of creation to animate your vision in the snow globe, and you would shake it up a little bit, just like a snow globe, and you would watch it manifest in your energy ball? Well, if you were to do that, you would feel this energy not as a theoretical, idealistic desire that's far off. You would hold it in your hands. And when you held it in your hands, you held it in your vibration. It was physical. It was tangible. It was basically made manifest. What if you could then just take that energy and immerse yourself in it and then send it out? That is no longer theoretical spiritual energy. That is taking the infinite substance that is in infinite supply and molding it to your heart's desires, just like you might mold clay, like that movie Ghost with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze. You took that energy, that energetic creative substance, and you molded it into the form that was reflective of your heart's desire. And that's what a supercharged snow globe is. And that's another one. Now, we've talked also about vision boards, and we talked about a dancing vision board where you dance around the vision board. Now, another thing that we could do is we could animate our vision boards. Now, many of you saw the Harry Potter movies, or you have an iPad. And when you have an iPad, or when you saw the Harry Potter movies, the newspaper in the Harry Potter movies, it was animated. If you have an iPad, you hit a button, and that which seems to be a flat picture is actually a video. So you know what it is to animate a vision. What if you were to get into a meditative state that was so powerful, so filled with light and love, and you were so filled with the creative energy, for each time you drew a breath, you drew in more of this creative substance? What if you were then able to imagine that vision board coming to life, popping off the board, popping off the page, popping into life, so you saw your vision dancing on the board? It would feel more real. Actually, you might do this one to the song by Sylvester, "You Make Me Feel Mighty, Mighty Real." And that's another way of bringing that vision board to life. So that's another technique. Now, many of these techniques, many of the people in my classes have used quite successfully with results that shocked them. I have used them as well with results that have shocked me. You can also use them with results that will shock you. So we're going to go to break, and we're going to discuss some additional manifestation magic. And in the meantime, you might have some questions for us as well. So if you want to put those questions in the chat, feel free to do so, and we will review those questions and discuss those after the break. And I have a few more things for you here on the New Thought Media Network.
What would Louise say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience, or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Ohm Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.
And we're back here on the Miracle of Prosperity, here on the New Thought Media Network. We've done a different show tonight. In lieu of a guest, we've had a number of questions on new manifestation methods. We welcome any other questions that you might have. And so let us know you're here, say hello. And if you have any questions on manifestation methods, please feel free to share them as well. And I have one last thing. Regina Brayboy has a question. While we wait for our manifestations to come into being, what should our attitude be? Our attitude, while we wait for our manifestations to come into physical being, and I modify that because our manifestations already exist. They existed first in the mind of God. God ideated them to us and through us, and then they existed in our minds. This is all energy, right? And then that energy that we ideated in our minds, we magnified, we amplified, we physicalized it with many of the techniques and so many more that we've been talking about. And then we released it to the universe to find its physical reflection and to draw us to its physical reflection and to draw its physical reflection to us. So it already does exist. So what do we do while we wait for it to come into physical manifestation? Number one, we dance in advance in thanksgiving, in appreciation, and in acceptance because it already is. And that's why the last part of an affirmative prayer is just that. It is, I release this to the universe, knowing that it already is. And so it is. In addition to that, what we can also do is use the power of expectation, because whatever it is that you expect is what you get. So use the power of positive expectancy. I expect this to show up. I expect this or something better. I expect this to be made manifest. And use the power of expectation as well. And this moves us into another idea. I call it praying past appearances. In the Bible, you understand that there's the passage, Proverbs 2, I think verses 4 and 5. Lean not on your own understandings, but in all thy ways acknowledge God, and God will direct thy paths. Well, the first part of that, lean not on your own understandings, is operative here. Do not lean on what you see. Instead, lean on what you be. And what do I mean by that? You may not see it showing up in your physical world yet. That may be your physical, human, egoic understanding. It hasn't shown up yet. Lean not on that understanding. Lean not on what you see. Lean instead on what you be. Lean instead on the energy that you've cultivated within you. Lean instead on the vibratory rate that you've cultivated. Lean instead on the feeling that you have, knowing that it already is. Lean instead on the sense of thanksgiving, acceptance, and anticipation of its physical manifestation. Stay in that energy, for that is the energy of fullness and abundance and satisfaction, and not in the energy of lack or it hasn't shown up yet. So that's what you can do while you're waiting for that which has already been made manifest spiritually to then be made manifest physically. Do we have any other questions? What a wonderful question, Regina Brayboy. Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions? What is end state energy? Yes. What is end state energy? Now, we alluded to this before, but I wanted to spend a little bit more time drilling down on it. As humans, as egos who often want to manifest to plug a hole we believe we have within us, we often look for things to fill that hole. However, we often look outside of us to these outer manifestations of things to fill that hole. Because we believe that those things that we want to manifest to fill that hole will fill that hole. They won't. They won't. I remember a fellow named Reverend Dr. Michael Orr gave an amazing sermon where he wanted to manifest a Mercedes, or he called it a Mercedes. And the reason that he called it a Mercedes, because once he manifested it, he said, Mercedes payments are killing me. My Mercedes payments are killing me. Because he wanted to manifest that from a place where that would make him feel like a real big man. But the payments were killing him and it took him out of his joy. So the point of that is we look past the things. What is the end state? He wanted to feel like a real big man. But feeling like a real big man has nothing to do with outer manifestations. We see that quite clearly in the form of certain real big men who are exhibiting right now the deficiencies and the destructive nature of their egos. So, what we really want to do is manifest the end state within us. Whether it be there's a part of me that feels small, that feels negated, that feels ignored by the world, that feels stomped on by the world, and I want to feel like a real big man. What we really want is an end state where we feel loved, lovable, and whole. Nothing outside of us is going to fill that hole. Only the light of God that we allow to flow to us and through us and fill that wound will fill that hole. So what is the end state? I want to feel loved, full, supported, seen. And so we work with the energy of light and love. We call it forth, we sit and we receive it, and we direct it to that place within us that wants to feel a different end state. And we feel that different end state. And then anything reflective of that end state will show up easily and effortlessly. We might then manifest the Mercedes just for fun, just for giggles, but we manifest it along with enough money to pay the $1,049 a month payments on it. So that's how we look not at the thing, but what is the end state that we think that thing would place us in? And when we cultivate that end state within us, the thing comes naturally. Kind of like buy the dress and the party will appear. Cultivate the end state within you and its reflection will naturally appear outside of you. Now it sounds like Regina Brayboy has another question. Excellent point. It's like reading a field. The needs are there. The soil is doing its thing. We water, gather the baskets in expectancy. We do not see the sprouts, but that does not mean our sight is sufficient to see what is happening beneath the surface. The seeds are programmed for the end state. Thank you. Oh, I love that, Regina. How brilliant that is. The seeds are programmed for the end state. You may not see them. You may not see them budding. You may not see what's happening beneath the surface of the ground, but those seeds are pre-programmed for the end state. Well, let me tell you something, folks. There is a seed of light within you. That seed of light within you is your essence. It is your spiritual essence. It is the you that God created before you cloud it over with all these illusions of race and gender and sexuality and geographic location and your past stories and then your economic situation and the jams of the past and the jams that you expect in the future. No, 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 no. That all clouded over that seed of light that you are. That seed of light that you are is a photon of light that is part of the great light of God. And that seed is programmed for joy. That seed is programmed for peace. That seed is programmed for satisfaction. That seed is programmed for fulfillment. That seed is programmed to thrive. For God's will is perfect happiness. And when we understand ourselves as that seed of God's will, we can accept God's will for perfect happiness for ourselves. And when we are in agreement with God, my will and thy will are one. My will and thy will be done. So God planted a seed in you. It is God's unique vision for you and your life and your own version and episode of your happiness and your fulfillment and your prosperity. Your task, my task, our task is to water that seed by allowing the grace and light and love of God to fall down upon us like the rain waters. Our task is to be unfazed by the darkness of being beneath the surface and wondering if we have the strength to break through. The strength to break through was already programmed in us. That success runs in our seed. And to trust the process. Trust that the warmth of the soil and the sunlight and everything that we have to move through to break through strengthens us. And trust that the end result, the end vision, is that we are trees of God. Thank you, Regina. And I'd better do a time check here. So this has been a wonderful discussion. And I wrote 7 other things down that I wanted to cover, but time does not permit. So I guess I'd better write them in my book, my upcoming book, Magical Manifestation Methods. You'll see them then, and we'll discuss them in the meantime. So I want to thank our producer, Michael Mangus. He's feeling a bit under the weather, but he's been collecting questions for us this evening. And I want to thank him for his assistance with this show. I usually don't do a one-person show, but he has been so valuable that I couldn't have done this without him. You don't have to come on camera because I know you're feeling quite under the weather, and I'm just grateful that you were able to do this tonight. So thank you, Reverend Michael Mangus. I want to thank all of our guests and those that participated and those that didn't. I want to thank you for your continued encouragement. And I want to invite you to some things that I'm working on as well. I have an invitation for you. I'm doing 2 new things, and I want to invite you to them. The first is Spirit Speaks on Past and Future Lives, beginning on April 23rd. So we know that many of the things that we brought to this life to be worked out were things from past lives. We may not have those insights, but Spirit does. So if there is an intractable problem or issue that you've been working on, you wonder where this came from. Maybe it came from a past life. Spirit will give us insights on that. And not only that, but the reason that we brought them to this life is because this is the first life where there has been enough light on the earth to heal them. So we brought a whole suitcase full of issues. But Spirit will help us through them. Now, the end result of this is that, many of us say, oh, this earth thing is too hard. I'm never coming back. But what if you could come back into a future life where you didn't have to spend the last 30 years of your life undoing all the miseducation of the first 30 years? What if you could come back and without forgetting who you are? What if you could come back and manifest based on who you are without the problems and issues because they have been already healed, solved, and transformed in past lives. Spirit will also guide us in creating a template for future lives that we can make manifest starting now. So Spirit speaks on past lives, and future lives. This is channeled where Spirit will talk directly to you, giving a general discussion first each week for 6 weeks, and then taking your individual questions on your past lives and guiding you in creating a future life of joy and peace, abundance, and ease. So that's on Thursdays, starting on April 23rd. I've also got one on Mondays, and these classes, as you know, are 2 for the price of 1. You buy one, you get the other, you buy the other, you can attend the first. This one is Spirit Speaks on Healing Key Issues, identifying and healing those key issues that are common to all of us, such as money, sexuality, spirituality, relationships, etc. And once we get an overview of Spirit on how to address these key issues generically, you can ask your questions to Spirit on how you can address these issues in your life. And this helps you to clear your karmic patterning of old issues and patterns that no longer serve you so that you can create the life that you desire. This is channeled also, and it begins on April 20th. Now, my classes tend to fill up because I have to limit participation so that everyone can get a chance to answer questions. This one's already over half filled. So if this is something that is of interest to you, it is best to contact me or register sooner rather than later. So you've seen flashing on the screen all the ways that you can contact me to do so. So I invite you to this wonderful 6-week journey, 6 Mondays and 6 Thursdays. There's a discount for pre-registration. So join me for Spirit Speaks on Healing Key Issues and Spirit Speaks on Past Lives and Future Lives. That's my invitation. So once again, I want to thank you for joining us this evening on the Miracle of Prosperity here on the New Thought Media Network.